So task 1, focus operations for our SQA OPM assignment brief. Right, so as we mentioned, the question would be broken up into, or the question is broken up into different parts, right? Task 1. First part of task 1. You should provide a brief introduction to the chosen organization and highlight the operations management challenges that the organization currently faces. So what students need to do here, students may firstly or at some point in your early write-up give an overview of the operations of their firm. In other words, what does the company do or who do they serve? All right, yeah, you just give us a rundown of the company. In other words, right, what does the company do? Who do they serve? Where are they located? Etc. Highlighting as well the firm's operations strategy briefly and also the challenges. You are encouraged to share your operations illustration done earlier on in the classroom. You would have done that using the Jamboard, all right? Okay, let me just reduce the size. Right. Nice. So just a few examples of operations challenges, and it all depends on the organization and the industry and so on sector. So labor shortages, raw material shortages, which is specifically a supply chain challenge if you want to look at it that way. But anyway, it can also fall under operations because it affects the operations. Poor technology, budget constraints, culture, so many issues, right? The second part of task 1, second part of your question focus, right? You should then critically discuss the application of operations principles and their impact on the organization's success. So I often call operations principles operations criteria, right? So these are variables that the organization strive to achieve, right? You may call it objectives too, but they complement the operations. The operations will know whether or not it's performing well by the way in which they manage these principles or criteria. For example, a fast food outlet, quality will be one. Food safety might also be a performance criteria or operations principle. Speed is an important one too. So let me read. There are a range of operations principles or performance criteria which can be discussed here. Identifying the principles most or relevant to your organization or to your sector might be most suitable. Attributing them to the success of the organization. That's another thing. So it's not only about highlighting the principles, but you have to discuss it in the context of your organization and tell us how these principles or the ability of the organization to meet these principles or performance criteria has impacted on the company's performance, right? So what's the connection? I'm sure that speed or flexibility and quality, when you look at some of these organizations, would impact the bottom line, will put the organization in a better place, in a better position, right? All right, and this the other part, yes. Before I go to the last part of it, remember our friend Nigel Slack. So Nigel Slack would have identified in his text, in his operations text, which I shared, which you do have access to, quality, speed, sustainability, cost as well, right? Cost is a very important principle. Maybe for all, I would say, managing cost, even for an NGO. Final part of task 1. Final part. Question focus, right? Remember we broke it up into parts. The quality management framework of the organization must be highlighted, describing its role in ensuring that the organization meets its strategic goals. How do you answer that part? Well, this is an important opportunity for the learner, for you all, to describe the quality systems or the quality tools applied within your organization, and again discuss the impact towards the company achieving its goals. So examples are also welcomed. You may also at the start reinforce the importance of quality in operations through relevant scholarship. So basically you are telling us, you are highlighting, you are describing the quality tools, systems, etc. that your company applies. Now, I want to go back to something we did in Transnote. We did it some time back on quality. Right. Quality management, right. Quality management. I go here. Right. So if you can recall, these were some quality management tools that we would have that you all would have shared with me, right, in relation to your organization. So you can refer to that. You all have access to that, right? We shared it before. We shared it again in the group. So like industry accreditation, failure mode effect analysis, quality cycles, or quality circles. Sorry. Well, I know it has circles, but okay, quality cycle. I'm not sure of that one. Applying Six Sigma, customer feedback initiatives, cause and effect analysis, or the Ishikawa diagram. All of the above. Also standards to be achieved, etc. Right. So just go back to that, and it will refresh your memory on several quality initiatives, tools, systems that your company can adopt. Let's say another way. Let's say a company, has not achieved maybe any of these, or your company is now developing a quality framework. Then you can recommend a couple for them, right? So this is what you do for task 1. Focus operations principles, and quality.